Hey folks, Sam here with Sam Wood Outdoors. I'm going to start a series called Boondocking Bowfishing, and this is going to be the first video in it. Boondocking is a term, and some things I've watched on YouTube, the guys kind of intrigue me. They live out of van, they live out of RV, they live in a very limited income. They find a lot of free parking, stuff like that. So boondocking bowfishing is we're going to go out and do some bowfishing trips on a limited budget. I get a lot of people that say, man, I wish I could go and do the stuff you do, and you know, I just don't have the money. Well, I'm going to show you how you can do this on a very limited budget. You team up with a couple of buddies, you sleep out under the stars, and you just go to spots where you don't have to haul a boat. You can do stuff, maybe if you haul a boat, it's just, we're going to do limited income. So the first trip, we are going to Berkeley Dam. There's Berkeley Lake, Kentucky Lake, and each have a dam that flows down in the river. I think it's the Tennessee River and the Cumberland River. So anyways, we're going to go there. The reason I love going there, it's just a great place. We can sleep under the stars. There's a lot of fish. This trip, I'm going after paddlefish. I want to get down there. It's a 10-hour drive for me. I'll leave here at about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. Time I get down there, it's going to be about 10 o'clock at night. You know, you got to add 2 hours for maybe a traffic jam, getting gas, stuff like that. Get it down there at 10. I'm going to race down. I'm going to shoot my 2 paddlefish before midnight. I'm going to shoot 2 paddlefish after midnight. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to get up the next day and do whatever. And then I'm going to go for 2 paddlefish after midnight, and then I'm going to catch some Z's, and I'm going to come on home. So you get to shoot a unique fish. I get to go. This is one of my favorite trips to do. I do it a couple times a year. But enough of the bullshit. Let's get going. Here at Berkeley Lake Dam. The Cumberland River is below. Berkeley Lake is above. It's right next to Kentucky Lake, which has got the Tennessee River below. But I shoot Berkeley Lake Dam. And I'm going to take you down there and show you why. But I got here last night about 10 o'clock, and I scored already. 2 nice paddlefish. So, I got them 2. I was going to fish again after midnight, but I was way too tired. So I slept. It's early in the morning here. I think it's going to be kind of crappy. I see the water's way up and everything else. So I'm gonna give you a little tour and everything else. I'm gonna get a little more sleep, and then maybe we're gonna get lucky enough. I'm gonna fish tonight. I'm gonna go and try to get 2 of them before midnight, 2 after midnight. I gotta get these cleaned up, and we should be pretty good. So that's basically in a 3-day trip. You can get 2 a day. That's 6 paddlefish. So that makes for a pretty good trip. And then when I fill up this morning, back on the road. 10 hours for me to get here. So I'm going to get these things back on ice, and then I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you the pavilion, and I'm going to show you why this is such a great spot for boondocking bowfishing. All right, guys, this is part of what makes this an amazing spot to come down here just for a couple of days. You don't need a boat, and you don't need to rent a motel or anything else. You can sleep in your truck here in the parking lot. Right there they have pavilions, they have running water, they have electricity, they do have porta-johns around, so you can just pull in here, spend a couple days. Me and Ron Skirvin do it all the time. Like I said, this is just a great spot. You can clean your fish up there. Ice, water, soda, all that stuff is 6.5 miles away, so you pretty much got it made here. So now let's go down here to the dam. You can see the dam. And I'll show you guys what that's all about, and we're going to get set up, and maybe, just maybe, we can get us a paddlefish. Here's the spot. You can go out there if you got a boat. Lots of gar. That's where they go and they shine the light, spotlight, and you get yourself some big heads. But I'm going to be fishing right there. Hopefully the water goes down. Last night the water was down probably vertically. It was down probably another foot. Bank-wise, 10 feet. So, but the water changes here in the spring a lot. They are pumping water left and right, you know, on and off, depending on the electricity. But like I said, usually in the summer, that's all, right there. That's all dry. You can go down there and just stand there and shoot. And let me tell you, there is so many fish up here. Last year, me and Ron Skirvin were down here, and there was a kid, he was standing up there, and man, he was just shooting into the water like crazy, and about every 3-4 shots he'd get a fish on, you know. And I had seen a lot of fish, but I wasn't seeing as many fish as he was. And I was standing right here on the corner. So I told Ron, I said, man, we gotta get down by that kid. There really wasn't any room. There's a bunch of kids down here in the summer. So Ron decided he couldn't take it no more. He went and talked to that kid, and he's like, boy, you're really seeing a lot, ain't you? And the kid says, I ain't seeing nothing. Ron said, what? He goes, yeah, I just shoot into the water. He said, they're thick down there. He said, you can't get them if you don't shoot at them. So he was basically just pulling back his bow, shooting down into the water, and every 3 or 4 shots he was getting a silver or big head. He did get 1 paddlefish. So I don't recommend doing that because you don't know what you're gonna hit. But that's just to tell you how thick the fish were. So you can bring your kids down here. You can definitely get some shooting in and have a great time. I was kind of looking, the water being up and everything else, and just a crappy time. We are probably not going to be shooting any paddlefish before dark. Oh, that's a good one. It's a nice one. Stoned him.
On our way back from LDL, I accidentally hit a mama possum. I wouldn't have felt bad if she didn't have 6 babies there. So now I have 5 baby possums in the car. Have you seen any other?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. That is a spoonless spoonbill. He ain't got no nose on him. Dandy. That'd be a good eater though. All right, we're back from Berkeley Dam. Got my paddlefish here. Now we're gonna show you guys how to clean them. They're actually really easy to clean. They have no bones. They have a piece of cartilage that runs down their back. And we want to pull that out. So first thing you want to do is get this right here. There's just a hard, like on top and on the bottom. You got to get through that first, but don't break the cartilage. So then all you want to do is just start pulling. It's like this. Let's keep that coming. There it is. That's basically their spinal cord, and it all comes out. So now there's really no bones left in this fish, and you can fillet it just like you do a normal fish, but what we do is we like to stake it out. So we go like this, get the head cut off, and I'm going to try something pretty cool. I'm going to take this head in, and I'm going to have the beetles try to clean this meat off, and then I'll end up with just this paddle and this skull, kind of a cool European mount. We'll get him gutted out here. It's like that. And that's a male. Bummer. If you get a female, they might be done spawning now. I was hoping to get some eggs. I can make some caviar. But the guys we're talking to down there, the commercial guys, they're getting $90 a pound for the eggs, and they sell it to the fish house there. So we get this cleaned up here. That's pretty good. And then all you want to do is just cut it into steaks, just like that. Once you got that cartilage out the back, it's easy. They got no rib cage, they got no bones. So we do just that. Get this fin off here. Get this fin off here. They're really, really simple to clean. A lot of guys say they taste like catfish. I think they do a little bit, but they got a little bit of a fishier taste to me. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna smoke this one and see how that goes. And the other ones we got, we're gonna smoke a couple and fry a couple. So we're gonna show you how to do a filleting one next here.
What's with the new hat?
The new hat. Well, if you watched my frog gigging video, I lost my hat out on the airboat. Me and that hat have had a long past together. Been together for like 2 years. So now I'm struggling. I've been through like 4 hats. This one's got the American flag. It says American Sportsman on it. I got to take it out and shoot some holes in it and do some stuff to it, probably to make it more like me, and we'll see how it goes. But basically that's it. We're going to take, like I said, we're going to smoke these. Now if you do fry it, and you want to keep it like this, when you take the skin off, you're going to see there's red meat right there and right there. You want to get that red meat off. And obviously we're going to clean this up a little bit better, but you want to get that red meat off. You don't want to eat that red meat. So let me go get another one and we'll show you how to fillet them. All right, here's our next paddlefish. Actually, he's a paddleless paddlefish. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fillet this one. The last one we staked up for smoking. This one we're going to fillet. Go ahead and cut here, and like I said before, they got that hard piece of cartilage right here on top of their tail. And then they got another one, you can see it right here on the bottom. So we just kind of got to get around that without breaking that backbone, because we're going to pull it out. It's not really a backbone. It's just like a cartilage. So we're going to go ahead and keep pulling this out. I wish I wouldn't have broke that. It happens. Actually, I pretty much break every one I do. Melissa, well.
Melissa, no.
I gotta get it going. There it comes. Usually, if you break it and you have somebody hold it and you can use 2 hands, it goes a little bit easier. But since Melissa's not volunteering and she's running the camera,
Melissa wouldn't volunteer anyway.
there it comes. We got it. It's pretty slippery, but there it is. So that's that. It's out. Now we're gonna go ahead and gut him. Just slice up the bottom there. And another big male. No eggs for us. Unless some other 2 got eggs, but I doubt it. We'll just set it on the ground. Actually, we won't set it on the ground because the dogs will be in it.
That's right. She was just looking at your fish.
Right? Let me get the cut here. I was going to go with the head anyways, but all right. So here we go. Fillet it. It's actually pretty easy. Because you have no backbone, you got to just guess. Kind of run it right down the middle. Oh, a little bit above the middle there. Get around this fin. There's that one. We'll trim the fins off of there. The belly meat, pretty much want to trim that bottom edge of that belly meat off of there. Here's that. Now, they do have like this channel that the cartilage ran through. It's right there. So we want to get that out. And you can just cut around it. It's pretty simple. Piece left there. That's that. When you do this fillet, just cut the head off. Like I said, they got no backbone, no rib cage, none of that stuff, so. Poor guy, no paddle. We're gonna take these fins off. First we'll get this cartilage thing out of there. It's like that. Run that right down to that fin. Take that fin off just like that. Top fin. Just gonna run your knife in there. Take that off. So there you go, no bones, except for we got still that little piece of where that cartilage, that backbone or spinal cord ran down in. We need to take that out. Simple, just cut down in there. It's like that, like you were gonna fillet the ribs out, but then just come right up because they got no ribs. No ribs. And then we want to get this fin and the bottom part of that belly meat, because that's kind of where they say all the toxins would sit. So it's a pretty big fillet. We're going to divide it up a couple pieces. There's one. Trim off that red meat. Now, you see all the red meat on there? That stuff is nasty as shit. Right here. All this red meat. So, I've heard of 100 different ways. And I don't get many paddlefish because we don't have them here in Wisconsin. They aren't legal. I just go through and just trim this off. I've heard other guys saying that you can soak it in buttermilk and all that. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, we don't get enough to experiment on. So we just go ahead and take all that red meat right off of there. Just like that. Same thing with this top part of the fillet. That red meat, man, I've never had a fish where that red meat tastes good. And these catfish and paddlefish, they got a lot of it. So that's that. There's that fillet. Me and Melissa are going to go ahead and cut that baby up and deep fry it. We'll do a video on that. And we might try one on the grill. So let me get this, like I said, we're going to divide it in half. Just like that. Oh, that one I didn't skin very good. All right, guys. Well, anyways, we're going to get these skinned up. We're going to get them cleaned up, get that red meat off. And that is the two ways that I know to clean a paddlefish, spoonbill catfish, whatever you call them. That's the ways we clean them. Hey, folks, Sam here with Sam Wood Outdoors. I'm going to start a series called Boondocking Bowfishing, and this is going to be the first video in it. Boondocking is a term, and some things I've watched on YouTube, the guys kind of intrigue me. They live out of van, they live out of RV, they live in a very limited income. They find a lot of free parking, stuff like that. So Boondocking Bowfishing is we're going to go out and do some bowfishing trips on a limited budget. I get a lot of people that say, man, I wish I could go and do the stuff you do, and you know, I just don't have the money. Well, I'm going to show you how you can do this on a very limited budget. You team up with a couple of buddies, you sleep out under the stars, and you just go to spots where you don't have to haul a boat. You can do stuff, maybe if you haul a boat, it's just, we're going to do limited income. So the first trip, we are going to Berkeley Dam. There's Berkeley Lake, Kentucky Lake, and each have a dam that flows down in the river. I think it's the Tennessee River and the Cumberland River. So anyways, we're going to go there. The reason I love going there, it's just a great place. We can sleep under the stars. There's a lot of fish. This trip, I'm going after paddlefish. I want to get down there. It's a 10-hour drive for me. I'll leave here at about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. Time I get down there, it's going to be about 10 o'clock at night. You know, you got to add 2 hours for maybe a traffic jam, getting gas, stuff like that. Get it down there at 10. I'm going to race down. I'm going to shoot my 2 paddlefish before midnight. I'm going to shoot 2 paddlefish after midnight. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to get up the next day and do whatever. And then I'm going to go for 2 paddlefish after midnight, and then I'm going to catch some Z's, and I'm going to come on home. So you get to shoot a unique fish. I get to go. This is one of my favorite trips to do. I do it a couple times a year. But enough of the bullshit. Let's get going.